Good morning and welcome to Sunday School with Miss Barbara. I hope that you had an opportunity to watch church today, whether you watched your church or my church or grandma's church or somebody else's church, and that you heard the lesson today. And what you may have heard was today is Ascension Sunday. Have you ever heard that before? Ascension? Think of that word ascension. That's a big, big word. Where have you heard that? Ascension. You may have heard it ascended. Anybody know where we hear that? In the Bible or in the church? Ascended. He ascended into heaven and sitteth at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. What is that from? Do you remember what that line is from? The Apostles' Creed. And it tells the story. And Jesus is the he in that in the Apostles' Creed. He ascended into heaven. So we're gonna talk about how Jesus got up to heaven and what happened there. This is going to happen after he is crucified. Remember how he came back and he walked with the disciples and he showed himself to Mary Magdalene, and he's going to hang out with the disciples for a little while, and he's going to do some more teaching and some more lessons, and then he is going to go up to his Father in heaven. So let's talk about that for a second. Sorry, my technology has to boot. Here we go. Jesus went back to heaven. 40 days after Jesus rose from the dead, it was time for him to go back to his Father in heaven. He and his disciples climbed up the Mount of Olives. Well, there we go. Jesus told them to go to Jerusalem and wait for the Holy Spirit to come to give them power. Then they were to tell other people everywhere all they had seen him do. And while his friends were standing there on top of the hill, Jesus went straight up into heaven in a cloud. The disciples were so surprised they stood looking into the sky. They had seen Jesus go up into heaven with their very own eyes. Then 2 angels appeared and said, "One day Jesus will come back again, exactly the same way you have just seen him go up to heaven." The disciples went straight back to Jerusalem to wait for the Holy Spirit to come. Then they began to tell people everywhere the good news about Jesus. The Bible tells us one day that Jesus will come back and his kingdom will be on this earth. I believe in Jesus too. So it seems like it's a big story. So Jesus has done miracles. He has taught. He has he has chosen friends. He has gone through so much. And even after he died, he still wasn't finished yet. Can you believe that? He's still not done yet. And so he's going to continue on with his disciples. And then he is going to say, now it is my time to go be with my Father in heaven. And in the way he's done many, many miracles, he does this again in front of his disciples' eyes. He rises up and he goes to heaven. Now, is that the way other people here on earth go to heaven? Is there a cloud that comes and they come up? No, that's not the way that it happens. Why would it happen to Jesus? What makes him so special? He's the chosen, is he not? Jesus is whose son? He's God's son. So God made him come home to him in a very special way, the same way that he showed other people how to live and how to behave through Jesus, through miracles. God performed those miracles through Jesus. And now he's going to do a final miracle and bring him home and do a last miracle through Jesus. I like the paintings I wonder what it would have been like to be there, to see that. It would have been an amazing thing to see, maybe a scary thing to see. I wonder what would happen after they saw. Do you think they ran and told everyone? Do you think people believed them? Jesus has done a great deal of things, but there's no video cameras, there's no picture cameras, there's no phones, there's no way to record it. So they would only have the disciples' word on what happened. They're only going to have the disciples' word on what Jesus said. They're only going to have the disciples' word on the other things that he did when Jesus is gone. But they're still going to tell the story. Some people call this the Great Commission. And that means that at this point, do you remember what Jesus said to the disciples before they were disciples? Remember, they were fishing? And he says something to them. He says, "Come follow me, and I will make you" what? Fishers of men. Meaning, I am going to have you tell people the good news of God's love. So he's going to do that while he's still alive. And when he goes into heaven, that's what he's going to tell them to do. He's going to say, I'm done now. My turn is over, and now it is your turn. It is your turn to continue on my lessons, to continue on telling people what they need to know about God and God's love. And so that is why we call it the Great Commission. He's telling them to go off and be missionaries, to go off and be fishers of men for their lifetime and their children's lifetime. Okay, so I have here 2 balloons. Here, I'm going to pull them down so that you can see them. Here we go. 2 balloons. One's an owl. One's a fox. They're kind of cute. They're kind of paying homage to some of our graduates. I've got quite a few 5th grade graduates at church. Trailer and Rebecca and Thomas and Landon and Lucas and Abigail and Anna. There's lots more. I may have to list them in the comments so I don't leave anybody out. But lots of you guys have finished your 5th grade year. And usually at this time during Sunday school, I'd make you all stand in the Sunday school class and make little paper hats for you and take a photo. I can't do that this year, but I can use these balloons for our lesson to tell you great job and that I'm going to miss you a great deal when you go up to Mr. Dwayne and the youth and leave me behind. Okay, so anyway, these are 2 balloons. What is in balloons? You might know what it's called. It starts with an H. You might think air, and if you blew up a balloon by yourself, yes, it would have air in it. But these balloons have helium in them. Helium. All right, well, they're the same balloons, so I wonder what's going to happen when I drop them. Let's see what happens. Look at that. One went up and one stayed down. Now, how did that happen? They both have helium. They're both cute animals. They both came from the dollar store. Why did one go up and one stayed down? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Yeah, they're balloons, so they're supposed to go up. Look at this one. It's got a long ribbon. Why do you think they put long ribbons on those? Because they go up, right? We got to be able to catch them and pull them back down. So why did this one not go up? Oh, I got a little telltale sign here. That's why that one didn't go up. It was tied down to some wooden Melissa and Doug popsicles. You like those? Those are cute. Tobias likes those. So the lesson here is that we are all the same when it comes to being people. When we're different, obviously, we have different decorations. We have different hair, different eye color, different sizes. But we're all people. We're all humans. So what would make some of us rise and some of us stay down? Can you think of some things that might do that? Besides children misbehaving? Because that can weigh you down sometimes. Anything else that you can think of that would weigh you down? Maybe bad decisions. Maybe sadness. Maybe you like a whole lot of things. Like you like your stuff too much. Anything else? There are lots of things that can weigh us down in this world. Technology can. Technology can be a good thing, but it can weigh us down. Things, we like our things. We like having clothes or toys. But if we like them too much, they can weigh us down. Bad decisions can weigh us down if we make the wrong choices and continue to make the wrong choices. Bad thoughts. A lot of people might just say sin. Sin does weigh us down. And sin is a very big part of our lives. So what I think was a great example here is that we are bound to earth. When Jesus ascended, there was nothing holding him back. He had finished his work. He wanted to be with God. Now, we want to be with God too, don't we? But we're here on earth. So how can we be with God and still be down here? What can we do? We can tell other people about God and Jesus. We can read our Bible. We can pray. We can do good deeds. We can do all sorts of things to be closer with God until it's our turn to ascend into heaven. And when it is our turn, people on earth will be sad. They will be very, very sad. But we aren't going to be sad, are we? We're not going to be sad because we're going to have let go of all those things that were weighing us down so that we can be happy and free as well. So I hope that you like this little demonstration of letting go. And have you ever heard that? Let go and let God. That's that's exactly what Jesus did, and that's what he wants us to do as well. Let go of our problems, let go of our burdens, let go of the sins, and stay close to God. Stay focused on God, so that when it is our turn, that we won't have anything holding us back. We'll go straight on up there. I hope you have a good week. I know for some of you, it's the last week of school. You got some projects and things to do this week. Hang in there for the last week and know that I'm proud of you and that you're doing great work. And stay connected with God. Okay? Bye-bye.